Happy Friday, chemists. So at this point, it is Friday, May 1st. So happy beginning of May. We are finishing up our QPA. So as always, here's my contact information. If you have any questions, concerns, please email me and get in touch with me somehow. So today we are going to continue working on our QPA, so continue analyzing a gas loss phenomena by doing research, and today we are focusing on creating a works cited page. So right now you should have your QPA pulled up either on your laptop if you have a physical copy of it, if you're working on it on paper, and a pencil if you're using the physical copy. So pause me now to get your QPA pulled up or your physical copy. Okay, welcome back. So by now you should have your QPA pulled up or have your physical copy of the QPA that you've been working on. So our final QPA checklist. So what should you have done by now? You should have chosen your topic, begun research on your topic, begun your presentation on the topic, and then written your background information. So what should we be working on today is our works cited page. So basically this is just using all of the this is showing all of the resources that you used. If you use specific websites or specific articles or specific books, you need to give credit to those people because that's just how science is. And in general, when you use somebody else's work, you should give them credit. You didn't just spontaneously know that information, so you need to give credit to where credit's due. So looking at citations, you guys should be using MLA format citations. I'm unsure if you guys are familiar with this. Hopefully you are. So in our citations, the elements should be listed in this following order. So this is the formal way to do citations. You guys in college and different papers that you write, you need to have a works cited page. And it needs to be in a specific format. Depending on, there's different styles, depending on what specific subject you are in. But I want you guys to be using MLA format. So here is the elements that you should be listing. So an author, that's gonna be the first one. It's gonna be the last name first, like down here, where it has Taubenberger Jeffrey. And notice how that's only for the very first author. So this is the, if it has multiple authors, it's the author that is gonna be listed first typically, so you don't have to figure out what author you need to list first, but it's typically the one that contributes the most to whatever piece you're looking at. So the author, last name first, followed by first name, middle name, and then a second author, third author, etc. if there's more. The title of your source, right here. So 1918 influenza, the mother of all pandemics, and you see that it's in quotation marks. So depending on if it's like a book title versus just an article title versus a website article, it might be in quotations versus italics. So if it's a book title, movie title, it's typically going to be in italics. If it's just an article title, it'll be in quotation marks. Version and number, that is typically only going to be if it's in a journal. So it's a journal page version and number. Publisher, so who's publishing this, what media. If it's a book, it'll have a publisher and a publication date. If it's a website, it'll have a publisher. So basically you just put like what your source is. So Emerging Infectious Disease Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So that is our publisher. Then we have our publication date. So it typically can be depending, I guess, on what source it is. So typically if it's an online source or some type of journal, it's going to have a month and a date, a year. And then if it's a book, it'll just have a year usually. So you work with what you got and you put whatever you got. So we have January 2006, location, if applicable. And if it's a website, you need to list the website at the very end. There are different resources. You guys, if this is confusing for you, you can ask me questions, of course. But there's also, you can just Google like MLA or do EasyBib. that can be helpful, something that people use. So it's a free bibliography generator. So you go to this website, you can create citations, and basically what you do is you walk through this. So choose your source. If you used a website, you go to this website, and then you would just copy and paste the website page. I can show you guys what's, oh my goodness. I can show you guys what I mean. So if we use this website, we can search it, and then it should come up. So it gives you, it gives you the information. So it gives us the mother of all pandemics. It tells us what the title, who wrote it, and then we can press cite. Okay, and it tells us all this information. So here's what we found, everything that we need. Continue. And that tells you what it needs your help with. So it needs you to find the missing information. So you would go to the actual website and see if you can find this missing information. You complete citation. So it's being created. It'll give us a second. And then here it is, boom. And then you just copy, and you can probably click here and it'll say copy selected. So you can check them all and copy them all. And then another thing to note, with MLA format, and typically in most bibliographies, it's going to have this hanging indentation. So it's an opposite to a paragraph where you indent the first paragraph. This one, you indent indent the first line. You indent all of the lines except for the first line in your citations. So sort of like this. So we see that it's a little indented. It should be more indented in my example. So I apologize. But if you use EasyBib for all your citations, it'll automatically do that for you. And then you can create a new citation and have all your citations saved. So you can just copy and paste them all. And another thing to note is your citation should be listed in alphabetical order. So if we have Taubenberger, that would be more toward the bottom. And then if we had like Appleton with an A, that would be at the beginning. And then you sort it based on alphabetical order. Hopefully this made sense. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Please, this is something that's really important for you guys to be able to create, not only for this class, but also just in general for you to be successful, especially in the scientific community, in any community really. If you want to be professional and taken seriously in any community, you need to be able to use citations. Even these great research papers have a million citations. I could walk you guys through it. So, okay, so we are done with this week. We cited our sources today. Next week, we are going to start revisions on Unit 4. So a lot of us need to finish that up, so that's exciting. So we'll do that. Make sure you guys are keeping in contact with me. Have a good weekend.